Spring Speedway and the quarter mile are back, and we've got lots of great racing action lined up for you this year. Do you remember the action we had last year? Check this out.
As we've got big tumble there, and just as we talked about him, that's Terence Durrell by the looks of the 22. Be dominated here, and the KP Tanks, number 97 of Ben Morrison, takes out your feature here tonight. But the win goes to Daniel Thomas. Gilbert looking to bring home his first feature win here at Lucasville Western Spring Speedway. And that, ladies and gentlemen, celebration or not, that is a feature celebration, and there is our win from hero to zero, Max Gilbert. Allard moves high side, gets out of shape, he hits the wall, and he's over. We've got 9 laps left to run for the Auto Super Shop Sprint Car Masters. Pickens is your pace setter. Down the outside, Pickens goes early, and we are racing. Just as we head into turn 1, a big up and over for the 51. So Pickens leads the 88 of Keenan Darb. Then we go back to Dean Cooper, Daniel Thomas, and Dion Kendo, and our winner for tonight for round 1 in the Auto Super Shop, Michael Pickens. Oh, Regan Tyler gets in there as well. As does, we got a big flyer down here. Jamie McDonald up and over multiple times, as does the 2 cars down the back. He goes early once again as we see cars get out of shape. We've got multiple cars around.
Welcome back to the quarter mile here from Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway, and what a season we've got lined up for you. International sprint car action is how we're going to kick off the season, plus there'll be midgets and there'll be TQ action as well. So as we get lined up for the track to keep you abreast with what's happening out in the racetrack, there's no one better than our own Mr. Speedway, Graham Standring.
Hi there, guys. Look, I'm standing here with Jamie Veal. Now, Jamie, at 34 years of age, you're still blazingly quick. You set the quick time when you're here, 2019. What do you remember about Western Springs?
It's tight and narrow, so yeah, where we are, we don't have something so tight down the straights. The corners widen out pretty nicely, but it's just, yeah, the straights are a bit tighter, so no, it wasn't too bad. There's obviously, with all the weather this week, it's hard to get the track right, and it's just a little bit greasy then, but they're lucky there's a few races before we go out, and hopefully we can move forward.
I mentioned before how you'd been here and done so well before, but you had to follow the United Truck Parts car. This time you've moved 1 car further forward into that car, and you're on a bit of a purple patch at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully I don't have to follow any cars tonight. So, but no, I'm lucky that Sean gave me the deal to come over here and do a few laps. So I'm excited to be here for them and see what we can do.
Here we are at Lucas Oil Western Spring Speedway, getting ready for another action-packed season. And we're going to kick it off with the first of the midget heats.
There's Brad Mosen ready to take the start of this one here. As we say, he'll be starting out at grid position number 7. As we get ready to set these drivers into their grids. For the front row, Cole Robinson, and then the 4A of Jack Lowe out of Christchurch. And Jack Lowe's our pace setter. Drivers already picking up their pace. A little bit of touching the wheels from young Cole Robinson up the inside. And drivers are going to have the best position on the pole line, but it's going to be Jack Lowe that gets the initial jump. Drivers on the outside definitely at a disadvantage. Apart from Jack Lowe, he managed to capitalise on being the pace setter and already finds himself out front. Airslinger power under the hood of the top 3 cars early on in this one. Cole Robinson ducks up the inside of Jack Lowe, move the female driver back into the 2nd position. The ABD group machine finds himself in the lead. Elegancy just getting fed a right rear there by Jack Lowe. Looks like Lowe's actually the one struggling as Elegancy gets into the back of him. Mitch Fabish sneaks up the inside and capitalises on that. So unsure what happened there, but it just looked like the Van City Spears machine just got all out of shape, got tight, and Elegancy nudged into the back. But we come back to this battle at the front at the moment. It's Morgan McHugh and Cole Robinson out front. The drivers trying to come to terms with their cars, with the racetrack as early as possible, taking advantage of this. And it seems like the drivers that are managing to gap their competitors are the ones that are pushing a little bit harder. We've got Matt Watson around down at turn number 3. And then we'll be rolling straight into midget heat race number 2 straight after this one, as the drivers work their way up to the CRC 556 barrels. And we get ready to turn them loose. They can go green and start racing, picking up the pace. Here they come to the second line and they take the chalk. But Cole Robinson's going to be the one that gets off to an early restart here and leads them down into -1 and 2. Brad Mosen goes high side, gets around James Cossey there as well. And now he latches onto the back of Mitch Babish. So let's keep our eyes on the greenway, number 10 man. He started off rear of field. He was out of grid position number 7 in this one. Already out inside the top 5, trying to find something special down at number 1 and 2. Can Robinson bring it home? I think he can. And it's going to go to the AVD group, number 99 man of Cole Robinson from Morgan McHugh and Jack Lowe will round out our top 3. Cole Robinson takes the win with a 16.11 fastest time for the race here for heat race number 1. That is going to be Leon Burgess for HLR Racing in the 87A. He'll be starting out at 1 with young Shaden Austin making a step up into the A-grade midget category. He'll be starting out at position number 2. Midas midget heat race number 2 as we come down to take the green for heat race number 2, 10 laps the distance. And it's going to be Shaden Austin, our pace setter, off the front row with Leon Burgess on the inside. Burgess gets the initial jump. Hodgson goes with him as well. Langton now fancies a piece of the puzzle, getting up the inside. Shaden Austin will put to make a stick as he gets a little bit tight down at minus turn number 1 and 2. The experienced riders go around and Michael Pickens finds himself up and over on the opening lap down at minus turn number 2. So it's Matthews that gets tight. Ken Palmer gets a little bit tighter again, and Pickens is just run straight to the right rear and up and over he goes. So as we heavy damage there to that left front as well, so no doubt that front beam will have a bit of damage. As we go green, then it's going to be Burgess and Shaden Austin once again back off the front row. Shaden Austin with a better start, but watch out, here comes Aaron Hodgson charging around the outside. And minus turn number 1 and 2 lose a little bit of momentum. Treadway was a piece of pie up there as well, but drivers definitely having to navigate the track here a little bit differently down at turns 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4. There's definitely a lot more dry down there in the first couple of turns, and then it's a little bit of a survival game down here in the black dry slick at Penrite turn 3 and 4. And I'd say we're going to see Aaron Hodgson sneak through here at some point, but he's just picking his time. He's got laps ahead of him here as he sneaks up the inside. Now Shaden Austin knows that he's there, tries to move him up the racetrack, does so. And that's the experience of previous North Island midget car champion Aaron Hodgson from a couple of seasons ago to move the number 35 Carter's Tyre Services machine up into position number 1. Burgess in second, Macton now up in third. Shaden Austin goes from first to fourth in a matter of laps, and we've got Ryan Barry around down at Penrite turn number 3. And tried to keep that Tree King number 16 moving, but unfortunately spins around and struggles to keep that machine going. As we head down Water Groove straight away, ready to turn them loose for 3 more laps. Hodgson gets off to an early start and will lead them down into minus turn number 1. And just as we say that, the yellow's already out because it was actually Matthews that bogged up. Peter Honeybell tried to get up the inside, and are we going to see that car have a half spin? He actually got into the right rear. There it is. Aaron Hodgson takes the win here. We've called this race.
It's very disappointed, Michael. He just sort of touched the wheel, ended up going back into the fence. But if we have a look down here, we've got a whole bunch of busted stuff here. So this is what we call the front axle beam. And you can see these are very thick and very strong, made of chromoly. It's got a bend through here. Here is what's called the drag link. That's what goes from the steering box all the way up to the front axle. Again, it's damaged and bent really badly. Some of the Nerf bars, they had to cut them off and replace those. They're still working on the left side Nerf bar on the car at the moment, trying to get it ready, and the back bumper's been badly damaged. So if you had to do an add up of the damage here, we're probably talking between $4,000 and $5,000, unfortunately, for the amount of damage that was done. Michael's pretty disappointed. If we have a quick look at his car, the exhaust pipe copped it here. So the header pipe's here, are all beaten in. That shouldn't affect the performance too much, but it is some damage to his car.
Heat race number 3 for the midgets. It's going to be Campbell Stewart on the 21M. He'll be starting out of grid position number 1 with his teammate Peter Honeybell on the outside of him. Graham Standring, I believe you're down trackside with Michael Pickens.
Yeah, I am just here with Michael. Michael, some bad news. Tell us what's wrong.
Yeah, the midget from that first heat race crash is pretty terminal, so unfortunately we have to park it up tonight. It's bent the chassis across in the nose and bent the motor plate, blown the Jacobs ladder off. It's torn up quite a bit of stuff, so we're going to concentrate on the sprint car and be in the International Series, and we tried our best. We were going to have a good crack, and the guys were tearing it apart to try and fix it, but it's if we got it back together, it definitely wouldn't be 100%, and with the sprint car deal tonight, International Series, we just want to focus on that and try and get us a win.
Lights are out around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, and it's going to be the two teammates out of BSL Racing, Stewart and Honeybell, off the front row. The two Terra Esslinger package cars off the front row. Easy Steel, Eastern Machine gets off to the early start. Will lead them down into minus turn number 1. Peter Honeybell goes high side, tries to work around the outside of his teammate. Ryan Barry slotted into the 3rd spot with Ben Matthews on the back of him. A little bit further back, Aaron Hodgson already finds himself up into 6th position, trying to work his way forward. Leon Burgess fancies himself in there as well. Hodgson just gets super tight, gets through that moisture down on the pole line at minus turn number 1 and 2. Starting to see the dust fly here already and move Honeybell up into the front spot. Showing his experience, as we say, X-Raining 1NZ, Vertex Lubricants number 9. So Peter Honeybell leads this one with 5 laps left to go. His teammate Campbell Stewart right behind him, the Easy Steel Easton, number 21. Campbell Stewart slotted in nicely. He's got a little bit of room between himself and Aaron Hodgson, but just as we say that, Hodgson throws a little slider to move him up the track and get him a little bit closer, but white flag is out this time by for our leaders. It's Honeybell from Campbell Stewart, from Aaron Hodgson. Then we go back to Ryan Barry, but no one has got anything for this man on screen at the moment. The Vertex Lubricants machine of Peter Honeybell takes the win at midget heat race number 3. Confirming our results on screen, Peter Honeybell takes the win from Campbell Stewart. Aaron Hodgson with a great drive in 3rd, moving himself up from 10th position. Ryan Barry comes home in 4th, Ben Matthews 5th, and young Alec Inslee rounds out our top 6. As we take to our grids, it's in fact going to be heading up to a big committee off the front row. As you know, scrap the 54A from this one. So not looking good for the number 91 M machine. Doesn't look like that thing is going to be fired up. So scrap the number 91 M from our starting grid. Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway heat race number 4 for the midgets. It's committee off the front row. Hard behind him is going to be Brad Mosen. Mosen sneaks up the inside. Who's going to lead them down into minus? Mosen with a slider up the inside of Committee. Can he make it stick? Committee tries to fight back, but not enough there to keep the Greenway number 10 A-man back and stop him from fighting. Committee slides up the racetrack, allows Fabish through, but slingshot from Committee. Manages to get back up the inside after Fabish got it super tight. It's that different looking chassis out of the Earl Racing stable. That's James Earl. Just allowing Walker McHugh through in that number 24 Seco machine. So that's the battle on screen for 4th and 5th position at this point in time, but it's still Mosen from Committee, from Fabish. Mosen on screen at the moment, won't quite make it to the lap traffic because white flag's out. 1 lap left to go for the Youngmans Richards Greenway number 10A. He looks to be the dominant performer here so far. We haven't seen a performance like this out of anyone in the midget category so far tonight at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. And the Greenway man takes home heat race number 4 victory. Victory goes to the Greenway number 10 man of Brad Mosen, taking the fastest time of the race with a 15.001 from Ben Committee in the 84A.
welcome to another edition of Know Your Speedway. You know, in Speedway racing, sometimes it's not always about the driver. There's a lot more factors in Speedway racing than just drivers. And with me now, I've got car owner of 5 cars that are here at Western Springs at the moment, Jeff Harper. How does a guy turn up virtually out of nowhere to get a ride in one of your cars? Is there different deals for different people?
Absolutely, there are different deals. Some come along and they want to start the sport, they want to get into the sport, so we can give them an opportunity, run them in an F2 and just see if they take a liking to it. As you know, Speedway, it's not just about the car, it's about the activity and the effort and time that goes in outside the track and preparation. Other guys around each car, we create a budget, so there has to be a budget, and that budget is generally made up of the team will have a contribution to so far, each driver will bring a contribution to the table, and then we also have our partners and sponsors to make up the budget for each car.
Now, what happens if they damage the car or things like that through the course of the season?
Look, the deals we're trying to run with most of our guys, and most of them are young guys, so what we're trying to do is make it affordable and make it doable for them. And on that basis, we'll sign a contract. Each driver has a written contract that we'll sign, but what we will do is the damage will be absorbed by the team. So it's a bit like an insurance scheme. We're working on a scale of economics here. Out of 5 cars, we like to bring most of them home in one piece on most nights, so which we generally do.
Thanks, guys. Another edition of Know Your Speedway.
It's amazing how much a car owner has to think about during a night's racing. So let's get into the action. This is time for the big guys. The sprint cars are racing here at Western Springs.
As we take a look at the grids for the first of our international sprint car heat races, Dean Cooper will be off the front row in the 84P with Braden Davison on the outside of him, and the 99A for HLR. Robbie Farr in the 73 AU machine will be out of 3 with Rob Vasey in the 35A on the outside of him. Dean Cooper with the front row to himself. And we go back to the first of our international guests, Robbie Farr. Let's wait and see what we can get, some international flavour for the summer of 2022-23. He's already trying to get up the inside of Cooper. And we go green for the first of our sprint car heat races. Cooper charges off. He had a dominant season last year at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, and he's definitely set off with a purpose in this one. And Robbie Farr going with him as well, already up into the 2nd spot. Rob Vasey in 3rd, as we see Steve Smith sliding up the racetrack at the tail end of that shot there. Rob Vasey definitely finding something special in that ITM Pallet Supplies number 35. And move Michael Pickens now up into the 4th position, gets up the inside of Levisich in the Toyco number 78. Great drive here. Better start to this one for Michael than what we saw in the first of the midget heat races for him. And he's going to have to be careful because he's got the 73 AU of Robbie Farr not far behind. He's already trying to sneak up the inside. So watch this. Here he is. There's the international driver trying to get up the inside of the Central Supplies machine. Can he get there? Central Metals number 73K trying high side, low side. Dean Cooper not able to get through on Smith at this point in time. Robbie Farr tries to move up the racetrack, tries to make that cushion work for him. But Dean Cooper's got to be careful because that's going to leave him high and dry with nowhere to go, just like this. And end up in no man's land at the Soldier straightaway, just as he gets a little bit of a squeeze from Smith there. Steve Smith now knows that both drivers are on the outside. They both get around him. 1 lap to go, next time past the post for our leader at this point in time, Dean Cooper. Michael Pickens still running in the 4th position, trying to get up the inside of Rob Vasey. Can't do so, only half a lap to go at this point. This man on screen at the moment, the JB's Hydro Extreme number 84, is going to bring home heat race number 1 for the mighty sprint cars. It's going to be Dean Cooper that takes heat race number one win there for the international sprint cars. Robbie Farr comes home in a 2nd with his debut here for the 2022-23 season.
Okay, I'm on the infield at the moment. We're just having a look at the track condition as it is. It's a little bit more dry than I would expect, to be honest, given the amount of rain they've had. But I guess they erred on the side of caution, presuming that we were going to be expecting some showers today. So down the bottom here, if you look through the surface, and when you're looking down from the grandstands and you see the track going black, that's called taking rubber. So when the track takes rubber, that and makes a lot of grip. On the very inside of the track, over by the pole line, where it's a bit darker, there's also a lot of grip there, but because it's so slippery in the middle of the track, it's hard to get down there. A little bit higher on the track where I'm standing, about let's say, mid-track, just on the edge of the black stuff, and by that's where the most grip is at the moment.
Off the front road for his first appearance here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway for some time, Rodney Wood's going to be starting out at grip position number 1 with young Chris Kernahan in the 92A starting on the outside of him. Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway International Sprint Car Action, heat race number 2. Kernahan, our pace setter, Rodney Wood on the pole position. Across the chalk we go. And running down into Midas turn number 1, it's going to be young Kernahan who gets off to a sensational start and will lead them around, first time around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. As we see Jamie Veal a little bit further back, looks like that car's actually lost all power. And we're looking to try and get that number 2 AU machine to the infield, no doubt. But at the moment, it's Kernahan who's out front, and the yellow flags are out. And Jamie Veal doesn't take power and brings the 2AU United Truck Parts machine to a standstill. As we get set to turn them loose once again here, Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, Wood versus Kernahan. Kernahan had a great start on the initial start of this one here, but scrapped 3 cars from our starting restart. Rodney Wood, Chris Kernahan, who's going to get the jump down into Midas once again. Chris Kernahan, great start there, down into Midas 1 and 2. Settling into the groove, sensationally there. Allard works high side on the outside of Rodney Wood. Gets right up and around the outside. It makes it look very easy for the Zero USA man. Exactly the start to the International Sprint Car heat race that he was looking for. Out of shape, a little bit further back there for the 79M of Max Guilford. Allard gets up into no man's land, hits the wall on the shoulder straightaway, makes contact with Rodney Wood, and that's punctured already the left front tyre of Jonathan Allard's machine. So now already Daniel Thomas pulled to the infield as well. So scrap 2 of the 3 HLR machines from this one, and our current 3 NZ. So Chris Kernahan has the front all to himself. He's up into the 3rd spot with Max Guilford breathing down his neck. He's got Mitch Osborne, who's having a night off. Oh, and we've put the commentator's curse on him. And Max Guilford goes round down at Penrite turn number 3, keeps it going. Sensational there, but at the moment, still out front, the man who's untouchable, Chris Kernahan. The yellow's out. We've got Holly Williams, and it looks like Adam Childs down there at Penrite turn number 3 as well going round. So scrap another sprint car off our results from the 2nd of our Sprint Car International heat race. So lights are out. Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway heat race number 2 International Sprint Cars, Wood and Kernahan for the 3rd time in heat race number 2. They get off to a great start. Kernahan knows what to do. He's going to lead Wood once again down into Midas turn number 1. Only a handful of laps left to go. Ryan O'Connor wants a piece of this battle as well with Rodney Wood. And then back to number 51M, back to Poultry Farms. Mitre 10 Mega Trade Machine. Definitely getting the pressure put on him now by Ryan O'Connor. Jamie McDonald in there. He's hard on the gas and trying to sneak up the inside, but not able to make any inroads. Chris Kernahan has once again, for the 3rd time in heat race number 2, has driven away from the experienced Rodney Wood. And proving that smooth is fast, track position is everything. The white flag is already out, and he's going to take his first heat race win of the season. Heat race International Sprint Car, heat race number 2 goes to Chris Kernahan. So Chris Kernahan takes out the top spot from Rodney Wood, Ryan O'Connor for HLR Racing. Steve Smith off the front row with Raymond Griffin in the 11A out of 2. Well, he's not sure what is going on there. Looks as though Jonathan's got the steering wheel off of that car now. So unfortunate start to the night for Jonathan Allard. Dalton's International Sprint Cars heat race number 3, about to turn them loose for 12 laps of the distance here around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. It's Steve Smith. Raymond Griffin is your front row. Who's going to charge them down into Midas turn number 1? Well, you're about to find out, and it's going to be the 11A of Raymond Griffin. Gets off to a great start. Michael Perkins high side on Holly Williams. He's trying to get his way ahead early on. Daniel Thomas with a little hop, jumping over one of the competitors just in front of him. Pickens already up into the 3rd spot. That was Rodney Wood sliding up the racetrack, and Adam Childs getting into the back of him there. But already Pickens now wants a piece of the puzzle on Steve Smith. The Henderson Valley Automotive, number 76, doing a great job holding fire. Pickens now up the inside of him though. Thinks better of it, allows Smith to stay in front for another lap. Pickens now tries high side, does so successfully, makes it stick. Raymond Griffin still holding on to that third position, now with half a lap ahead of himself and Michael Pickens. Brindle now up into the second spot, around the outside of Rodney Wood. Ray Griffin he goes. Rodney Wood now sets his eyes around the outside of Ray Griffin. Makes it look relatively easy. And Michael Pickens now into the lap traffic around the outside of Adam Childs. The first of the lap cars. Pickens obviously not running the midget here tonight after that early contact in the first of his heat races. But now Pickens with only one lap left to go. He's in the thick of it. He's got Rob Bays in the ITM Yo machine in front of him. He will be trying to be as straight and as neat as possible to bring home decent haul of points here for heat race number 3 for the sprint cars, and the win goes to Michael Pickens for heat race number 3. So confirming the results for international sprint cars, heat race number 3, Pickens gets the win from Dean Brindle, Rodney Wood, Daniel Thomas, Raymond Griffin.
I've just quickly been out to the Jamie Veal car. He had a rear end problem before, and so what they've done is they've taken the rear end of the car, so that's the whole differential out of the car. They've put that in the car. So quickly, there's about 4 guys working on it. They're really hoping they can get out here for their second heat, which would get them some points and get them further up for the feature.
Oh, so we've actually just been given a note as well. It's actually going to be rear of field for Richard Battersby. So move the 27A to rear of field. And the lights are out around Lucas Oil Western Springs Sprint Cars for the International Dalton Sprint Car Heat Race number 4. It's Jamie Larson off the front row, all to himself. Then we go back to the second row of Ryan O'Connor, Kerry Brokers, who gets the jump. Of course, it's going to be Jamie Larson. Our ex-New Zealand Sprint Car champion leads him through minors for the first time. Linear heat going to be coming from the back of this one. We've got Robbie Farr in the Central Medals, number 73K. He'll be trying to cut his way in through some of the traffic. Here's our international guest here in the Central Medals, number 73K of Robbie Farr. Usually campaigned by Brian Edwards out of Kiki. Great package under him here tonight at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. Farr gets through on Max Guildford. Zachary Sokal clips the wall, finds himself right up against it. Dropping a couple more spots now to D. Cooper. Driver is struggling to make his way forward in this one. Jamie McDonald, he's back with Havant Daniels. Just coming into shot there as well. Only 2 laps left for the man on screen of Jamie Larson. Zach Sokal, Havant Daniels, Jamie McDonald. Chris Kernan in there, and there's our leader. The man coming down to take the white flag, Jamie Larson, with only 1 more lap around the speedway. He's playing the long game, he's playing the safe game. He's had distance in the tank for this one. He's going to bring home International Sprint Car Heat Race number 4. Jamie Larson takes the win for the fastest lap of the race. From Ryan O'Connor, Kerry Brokers rounds out your top 3. Grids on screen as well for the Super Saloon feature. It's Jacob Flynn off the front in the 5B with Philip Mainland. So we go green here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway for the Super Saloon feature. Their last run here tonight. And it's going to be, in fact, Steve Kelly that tears him through minus turn number 1 for the first time. And that face-up Taronga ITM machine looks like it is absolutely on rails here tonight. And the Flynn cars running second and third. Steve's looks like it's the complete opposite. It's completely sideways, extra angle. So we'll have to watch that as the race progresses here, as we see Jacob trying to get up the inside. Can he make it stick? As we say, we see that push from Jacob's car at the mid-turn. We go back a little bit further to the number 24. 24 doing a great job here tonight. 75 hard in there as well. Graham Strong trying to get through on Lansdowne now as well. Just 1 less car for Steve Cowling to try and navigate around. And we've got 1 slowing down at minus turn number 1 and 2. And that's the 32P away, about to find himself with a whole heap of damage to the right front. Is that going to bring out the yellows? No, he manages to get it to the infield, so we resume racing. As we see Cowling into the lap cars on the back of Wade Jennings now. Trying to get around the outside of him. Trying to keep his nose clean. He's done a great job at that so far tonight. Look at that. That car's just driving like it's on rails. He's doing an excellent job at that tower on the right here. Base up machine. No one's had anything for him. Still looking at those two BK cars on screen at the moment. Still running in second and third. It's Steve Flynn from Jacob Flynn at this point in time. Big push on for the 6B there of Jacob Flynn and slides up the racetrack. Can't get through. But with only one lap left to go for our leader on screen at the moment, it's Cowling trying to get around Jeremy Brown. Coming down to take the checkered flag. The win here tonight for the Super Saloon Burger King Series goes to Steve Cowling. This man on screen, no one had anything for him all night. He was in a league of his own. Steve Cowling takes the win in the 37M from Jacob Flynn, Steve Flynn, Scott Lansdowne in the 74A, Philip Mainland in the 5A, and rounding out your top 6 in the 21B, Jeremy Brown.
Something we're not used to seeing too much here at Western Springs at the saloons, but certainly getting around there all right.
Yeah, it was good. Made it hard tonight with their first race spin up, but managed to get the win. But it's so awesome to come here. My dad's got a lot of history here, and my brother's won here a couple of times, so it's good to finally get a tick beside my name here, and it's pretty awesome.
And fast man Brad Mosen in the 10A is going to be off the front row with Aaron Hodgson. How great is it to see these open wheel machines back here once again? Brad Mosen will be off the front row with Aaron Hodgson. We know what both these drivers are capable of. 20 laps the distance here around Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, 4 midget car feature. Here it is, event number 18, Mosen versus Hodgson off the front row. Who's going to get the jump? We're about to find out. Mosen goes early, but Hodgson's got the legs down into minus turn number 1. Mosen with the slider, can he make it stick? Can Hodgson respond? And he does so, getting back up the inside. The Carter's Tyre Services driver gets a hop on. We've got cars all over the track. But as predicted by Graham Standrick, they're duking it out early. It's Hodgson and Mosen, and the yellow is out for James Earl and Peter Honeybell. We get set to turn them loose once again. Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, action aplenty. Mosen v Hodgson once again off the front row, duking it out here at the best open wheel speedway in the country. Hodgson gets the jump this time and will lead Mosen down into 1. He throws it in early, making sure that that leaves no room for Mosen to get back in. And Hodgson stretching out already. Fabish now up into the 3rd spot, gets ahead of Morgan McHugh. Great start there from the 35 machine. Mosen had nothing for him. Both drivers sliding up against that cushion. Plenty of dust flying here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. Our front 2 drivers already stretching out on Mitch Fabish from Kiki. Fabish leads Morgan McHugh. Big dive there from McDonnell, a little bit further back down the field. He was Graham Standrick's pick here early on tonight to take victory here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. Super impressive stuff. The same mirror package that we're going to see from Tyler Ryman running here at Western Springs later on this summer. The same as what we're seeing with Mitch Fabish, who's currently running in 3rd. So the package has got the goods to get the job done. Yellow flags around. And we've got one parked up on the pole line down at minus turn number 1. It's Cole Robinson in the HLR Racing, number 99. And Hodgson goes early, but Mosen can't go with him. Watch out, here comes Morgan McHugh. Where's he come from? He has absolutely been on fire here tonight, Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway, but watch out, Mosen with the slider. Hodgson, can he respond? Tries to get up the inside. Mosen in no man's land, tries to make a hang coming out of Penrite turn number 4. But Hodgson has the measure at this point in time. Over the greenway, number 10A man. McDonnell up into the 3rd spot, so great start for Jordan McDonnell. He started out in grid position number 10. Still this battle at the front, they almost touch. Hodgson and Mosen. But think it was Graham Standring pointed out early on in this one that they're not afraid to go wheel to wheel. And unfortunately, there's consequences that come with that. Hodgson bangs the right rear up against the cushion in the Carter's tyres. Number 35 machine. Still out front, it's Hodgson from Mosen, from McDonnell, Morgan McHugh. Then we go back to Fabish and Cometti. A little bit of breathing room between all drivers. Has Mosen conceded to Aaron Hodgson? It looks like the edge has gone off the 10A at this point in time. But one thing about Mo, you never discount him from anything. And this can be no different, but at this point in time, Hodgson looks to be the dominant force. James Gossie sets his eyes onto the back of Ryan Barry. McDonnell goes lie side, slides up to the cushion. Fabish trying to line up the slingshot coming off the turn when McDonnell throws it in low, bangs the cushion. Fabish tries the opposite, so let's wait and see if he can make something work. Hodgson and Mosen have the measure of the field. They're a class act at the moment. No one has got anything for them at this point in time. Hodgson wanting to keep his nose clean, trying to predict Ken Palmer's pass. There it is, Mosen gets checked up, coming out of Penrite turn number 4. Throws up the inside of Ken Palmer. Palmer knows he's there. Hodgson jumps the cushion. It's a blessing that he had a little bit of a breather on himself and Mosen. Otherwise, Mosen would have capitalised on that. It's Jack Lowe and Ben Cometti in there as well. But at the moment, it's still Aaron Hodgson from Bad Mosen. Only 4 laps left around. Lucas Oil, Western Springs Speedway. Mosen coming on strong with only a handful of laps left to run. Is lap traffic going to play a part in this one? It's going to be Cole Robinson that our leader's going to come up on next in a lap or so. Mosen looks to have made some fine-tuning adjustments, throws it up the inside. Hodgson knows that he's there. Was that the last move that Mosen had to slingshot a pass on Hodgson? Hodgson knows he's got to stay committed to that right pedal. Bringing this thing home, 2 laps left to run. White flag will come out for Hodgson this time. Doesn't look as though lap traffic is going to have a role to play in this one. Hodgson gets a little bit high, runs it tight coming off turn number 2. It's close. Hodgson goes low side. Mosen with a slider, gets back up the inside, does Hodgson. And Hodgson takes the win. What a move from Mosen on the last turn. Sensational driving from some of New Zealand's best midget car racers. But the win goes to this man on screen, the Carter's Tyre Services, number 35. Fantastic drive there from the 24 of Morgan McHugh. Takes home 3rd from Jordan McDonnell in 4th, Jack Lowe 5th, and Mitch Fabish in 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, as Aaron gets out of the car, be loud, breathe proud. The 35A feature winner goes to the Carter's Tyre Services, Aaron Hodgson.
Tell us about it. Like we could see it coming. Brad was getting closer and closer and closer. He had a dive about 6 laps before the finish, and then right on the last lap. Did that give you any concern? Did you think you could come back at him?
Yeah, I knew we were pretty good. I was watching the TV off turn 2, so I knew he was right there. So cheating a little bit, but he was fast. He just couldn't quite stick it. I think me and Shane and the rest of the guys have just got the car pretty well sorted now. It's really well balanced, and they spent a hell of a lot of time on it during the week to make sure it looks absolutely pristine. Yeah,
I just checked your back tyres. I just had a look while you were getting out of the car, and the wear on them looks perfect on both sides. Given that it's such a dry, slick track, and you're used to heavier tracks, how did you make the adjustment?
You couldn't hold it flat. I knew the tyres may come into it later on, but once Mosen showed his nose, I sort of had to stick the boot into it and get going.
The entire front end there of the current 1NZ. Lance Bell getting caught up in the mix as well. got big tumble there, just as we talked about him. He dominated here. The win goes to Daniel Thomas. Guildford looking to bring home his first feature win here at Luxor West Spring Speedway.
Would you please be upstanding for the New Zealand National Anthem? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Connor Vasey for the guitar work up there as we get ready to fire up the winged monsters here at Western Springs Speedway. For the grand finale tonight, we're playing for the silverware for the first of our international series.
Thanks very much, Nick. International Sprint Car feature #1, Ryan O'Connor is going to be off the front row with Michael Pickens. Then off the second row is going to be Rodney Wood out of Mount Maunganui in the 51M with Robbie Farr on the outside of him. Then we go back to the third row. It's going to be Dean Cooper in the 84P out of 5 with Jamie Larson starting out of 6. Then we go back to group position #7 will be Dee Brindle in the 22K with Max Guildford in the 79M on the outside of him. Then we go back to Matt Levsage out of Canterbury in the 78C out of 9. Chris Gurnahan in the 92A will be starting out of 10 with Jamie McDonald in the 71A out of 11. Then Kerry Brokers in the 21A will be starting out of 12. Starting out of 13 will be Rob Vase in the 35A, and then we go across to Raymond Griffin in the 11A starting out of 14. Zachary Soko in this 47A will be out of 15, with Havard Daniels in the 9A out of 16. Adam Child in the 23A will be out of 17, with Holly Williams in the 9M out of 18. Then we go back to Steve Smith in the 76A, he'll be out of 19, with Daniel Thomas in the Screen Z out of 20. And off the back row, Jonathan Allard and Jamie Field. So as we get the drivers in position for a 4-wide salute, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to your feet. Put your hands together for some of the best sprint car drivers in the country, in Australasia. And one of our own will claim him, Jonathan Allard. He'll be starting out in group position #21 for this one here. Lights are out and we get set to turn them loose for the Dalton's International Sprint Car 25-lapper. It's Ryan O'Connor, it's Michael Pickens is your front row. And we get set to turn them loose for the feature event here tonight at Luxor Western Springs Speedway. Pickens off to a great start and will lead them down to minus turn #1. Wings that car in super hard and leads them out of turn #2 into 3. Robbie Farr in there up the inside, Ryan O'Connor as well. He wants a piece of the pie early and wants to try and get as far forward. He knows Pickens is going to check out in this one as well. Let's wait and see. Great start already to the 2AU machine of Jamie Field. Already made up 4 positions further back down the field. Let's wait and see how he works his way through the field. Dean Cooper with a great move, great battle there with the 51 here. That's Rodney Wood. Rodney Wood's been on fire so far this season with already a couple top 3 feature performances already. Now Pickett already only a couple of laps in and on the back of the lap traffic. Adam Childs is who he's trying to work around the outside of now. Then it's going to be Steve Smith, so let's keep our eyes on this battle here. Will lap traffic be the thing that upsets and spoils this one? Or is it going to be what brings victory for Michael Pickett? We're going to have to wait and see. Then move Larson up a spot as well. Max Guilford right in behind. Just as we see Farr and O'Connor making contact. Coming out of turn number 3. Pickett already streaks ahead. Yellow is out and we've got a couple up and over. And it looks like it's Dean Brindle and Daniel Thomas down at turn number 2. So an absolute terrible night for Daniel Thomas. He's been caught up in little misdemeanors and just hasn't been able to get the lucky break that he has had already for the start of the season. So the crash crew getting that car turned around, back in position, ready to get fired up. Lights are out on a restart. Pickens is our pace setter from Ryan O'Connor. Pickens goes super early, catches them all napping, and he is gone. Jamie Larson already up the inside of Ryan O'Connor. O'Connor thinks better of it and slams the door closed on the 82. Robbie Farr up into the 2nd spot. He's coming to grips with Luke Shaw, Western Springs Speedway. Only 17 laps left to run. Are we going to see something special from Farr? Can he pull in that gap to Michael Pickett? We're about to find out. Max Guilford goes high and wide behind Rodney Wood. Chasing him down. Pickett's already into the lap traffic on the restart of this one here. 12 laps left to run right around the outside of Holly Williams like she's sitting still. Now he's on the back of the number 76 machine of Steve Smith. Cars spread out through and far all around Luxor Western Springs Speedway. No real gaps. Far now, almost onto the back of Hannah Daniels. And we've got Max Guilford. Big up and over down at Midas turn number 3. So big end for end. Up and over for Max Guilford. The fuel tank's even come off that car. Clean broken off the mounts. And it's about 10 metres in front of the car. Just left a shot. There we go. So the fuel tank is just up and gone. Camera's no doubt going to pan down. Here it is. And tail end of it. Bang, and up and over. Squash the wing. Fuel tank exit stage right. And back on its wheels for Max.
Interesting to see as the fuel tank comes off, the self-sealing bladder that it has inside stops any fuel from leaking out onto the track. So quite a unique shot that we saw there, but bad luck for Max Guilford tonight. I was actually having a word to him earlier tonight, and he was saying how much he enjoyed being up in the States. And funny thing, he didn't go up there to race this year. He went up on holiday and was asked if he would like to pilot one of the cars. So he ended up doing some racing and doing fairly well at the Nationals in the States.
Lights are out once again. Luxor Western Springs Speedway. This time Michael Pickett has a new rival on the front row. It's Robbie Farr. Is he awake? Is he going to see it? We're going to have to wait and see. But Jamie Larson wants a piece of the puzzle. He's not going to let his compatriot get away. Michael Pickett already stretching out for this one. Wasn't in the midget car races after heavy contact with his King chassis early on tonight. So he sets his eyes and focus on the International Sprint Car feature. Brought to you by Dolphins at Luxor Western Springs Speedway. Pickens checks out from Farr. Then a small gap back to Larson. Then Ryan O'Connor. Dean Cooper doing well. Sneaks into the top 5. So that drops Wood and Levisage back. But watch out. Number 2 Australia, Jamie Field, just cracked into the top 6. Larson right up behind him, the closest he's been all race. Let's wait and see how this one unfolds. Larson just jumps the cushion down at -3. Jamie Veal jumps it even more so down at minus turn number 3. So that moves him back another spot, but watch out. Jamie Larson wants a piece of Robbie Farr. Pickens in the lap traffic. Once again, 4 laps left to go. Let's wait and see how this one unfolds. High and wide is Michael Pickens. 4 cars deep into the lap traffic. Gets around Holly Williams. Now sets his eyes on Rob Vasey. Great move up the inside. Keeps his nose clean. Now on the back of Raymond Griffin for Michael Pickens. Jamie Larson swoops around Robbie Farr. So move Jamie Larson up into the 2nd spot. Robbie Farr in 3rd. Dean Cooper now up into the 4th spot. White flag out for Michael Pickens. Keep an eye on our leader at this point in time. Half a lap to go. Michael Pickens. Final turn. Takes the win. The CRC man. 1 NZ. Pickens takes victory. So, in fact, confirming that result, indeed, it's Michael Pickens that takes a win by a substantial margin from Jamie Larson in 2nd. Dean Cooper, after going here at 0, so he's gone from 3rd position. Now he's parked in the wall down at minus turn number 2. Robbie Farr comes home 4th, Ryan O'Connor 5th, and Jamie Veal rounds out our top 6. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, your Dalton's International Sprint Car Feature winner, Michael Pickens.
Okay, Michael Pickens, what can we say? Unlucky in the midget tonight, but super lucky in the CRC sprint car. But there was a point just before the first yellow where you nearly turned it around in 3 and 4. That was pretty close.
Yeah, lost a bunch of wing speed and got up in the slimy stuff, but yeah, obviously had enough car speed to where no one could take advantage of it, and we're fortunate enough to have the yellow come out straight after, which is a bit of a godsend. So massive thanks to CRC, Stadium Finance, all our partners. We couldn't do without them, and it's neat to have CRC here tonight watching. Wicked to reward them with the win, and appreciate their support over the last few years. All my guys, Steve Warrington, Hayado, Nathan, Tony, Carl, Carl's not racing tonight, so he'll lend a hand, so I appreciate all their help too.
Yeah, you're also going to give sort of special acknowledgement to the fact that the guys like Steve Warrington and Hayden Warrington came with you from America, so they've been up virtually all night, all day, putting this thing together. When I saw you around lunchtime today, they were just virtually finishing off the installation of this engine. So, man, it's a huge achievement, and well done. Yeah, thank you. We had some people help us when we were away too. Kevin Hinchcliffe, Tony, Nathan, the guys that stayed behind. Special thank you to them for getting into a position where we could win a race tonight. So massive thanks to everyone involved. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I like to say this, but welcome back to New Zealand, and congratulations to the Pickens team and the CRC #1 sprint car feature winner of the first of the International Series here at Western Springs Speedway. Thank you, appreciate it.
What a great night's racing here at Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway. The international sprint car action was unbelievable, but it just gets better. Next time on the quarter mile, it's round 2 of the international sprint cars from Lucas Oil Western Springs Speedway.